Lanzarote and Tenerife issue warnings to UK tourists as people start to panic over the blackouts in Spain. That is just one report today in the Birmingham Live. That is just one headline of today in the Birmingham Live from a reporter called James Rogers. Now, I think if these reporters are so hell-bent on giving false and incorrect information about the Canary Islands, well, it's time to call them out. Apparently today, Spain has declared a national emergency in Lanzarote, Tenerife and Ibiza. This again is on the back of the blackout in mainland Spain, which didn't have much effect here at all. And apparently we're facing shortages. I am going to head out now and see exactly where this panic is coming from. I'm going to the supermarket because I need to get something anyway. Let's see if the shelves are full. Let's see if there's any toilet roll left. I can tell you now, there is zero panic here on the Canary Islands. What happened with the blackout in mainland Spain? Well, the only effect that we had here was about 4 to 5 hours without the internet and the phone lines. I mean, it was a stressful time because I had to speak to Mrs. Travelon. But apart from that, it was all good. We had full power and it all seems to be back to normal today. But our friends in the mainstream media, and especially James Rogers, seems to think that they can put a little spin and a little clicky title and it will get clicks and get you lot worrying about your holidays. I'm going to show James and the rest of the media just what effect your bad journalism has, not only on the islands, but to the people that live here and the poor people that are saving hard for their holiday, and you are causing them anxiety and stress and worry about their holiday. For crying out loud, the world is bad enough as it is, and we have enough to deal with the mainstream media, with all sorts of misinformation and scaremongering, that people just need a 1 week or 2 week holiday. And if you guys that are sitting there behind your keyboards spouting absolute nonsense and causing people anxiety, I tell you what, you shouldn't be sleeping very well at night. So I am going to call you out. I mean, it seems to me that social media and the news seems to fact check everybody else, especially if you use hurty words. But absolutely nobody is fact checking or putting any legal action towards these journalists that are causing negativity, stress, anxiety and costing people their livelihood, because as you report in the Birmingham Mail, hotels are cancelling holidays for British people. And another fantastic headline from James was that the UK people send sympathy as they cancel their holidays to the Canary Islands. Well, James, all I can say to that is if you're proud of yourself that you are forcing people to cancel their holidays by printing misinformation about the Canary Islands, again, I ask you, how do you sleep at night? But anyway, let's get to the supermarket. Let's see what this panic is all about, because that's what today's video is. And we're also going to speak to some local people, some local business owners, and Augusto from Lanzarote Loves Tourism, and just see what he thinks about the headlines. Here we are outside Mercadona, the biggest and busiest supermarket here in Lanzarote. Let's see if that report of stockpiling and mayhem is actually true. Car park looks pretty empty, doesn't it? So this certainly looks like panic has set in the Canary Islands because of the power cut in Spain, doesn't it? Look at it, look how many cars there are, it's rammed. Now listen, this isn't a hit piece on James specifically, but I think he needs to take accountability for some of these headlines. Now, I did actually get in contact with him. Do you know how easy it is to get in touch with these news reporters? Well, their name's there, you click it, it's got all their social media, contact them. If you are annoyed, upset with one of these headlines, news reports that you know is fake, contact them and tell them. Now, I did contact James and he seems like a decent human being. Seems like a young lad that is just trying to get by, and he's not actually working for Birmingham Live. And he said that the actual report was in the Sun that said that people were stockpiling. So it seems to me that we're living in a world where people are just taking the mainstream media's fake news, rewriting it into even more fake news, and it's just going to escalate. It's like Chinese whispers. It's absolute madness. Right, I thought I'd be queuing. I thought I'd be queuing out this door, but it don't look like it, does it? So let's see if there's any food left. Well, there you go, look, plenty of fruit and veg. Seems like the tomatoes have took a hammering. Seems like the tomatoes are the only thing that has took a hammering. What do you reckon? It seems to me we're fully stocked. In fact, while I'm here, I might get myself some strawberries. Look at them, they look lovely. So this is why you shouldn't be listening to the stupid news reports that people are stockpiling. Does it look like this supermarket is busy? In fact, it's one of the quietest I've ever seen it. So where is this information coming from and why is it coming? Because there really is no need to write a report saying that Tenerife, Lanzarote and the Canary Islands are in panic mode and are stockpiling food and the supermarkets are empty. It's absolute nonsense, and this is why you should listen to people like myself that are on the ground, and I'm going to make it my mission to debunk any of the fake news media that is just spinning this web of clickbait, because that is all it is. It's to get you to click. So there you go. Panic buying, eh? The only panic buying is me impulse buying when I don't actually need anything, but you've just cost me money going in there to show you that the place is empty. So I'm not only going to hit the streets and speak to people in the streets, speak to local businesses, but the first person I'm going to go and speak to is my mate Augusto, who is the founder of Lanzarote Loves Tourism. Now this guy knows his stuff and has actually set up a group called Lanzarote Loves Tourism, again because the mainstream media and the fake news keep saying that any protests that happen here in the Canary Islands is all against tourism, when it's not. But that's another video. In fact, I've done quite a few on that, and we'll talk about that with Augusto. So come on, let's go. So here I am again with my friend Augusto, who is the founder of Lanzarote Loves Tourism and works quite closely with Tenerife as well. Now, I've told you about these headlines today. Now, you focus more on the reports of the protest, because there's a protest on the 18th of May, isn't there?
Yes, it is. Maybe I think they are going to do it in Arrecife.
So the protest, as I said, is going to be in the Arrecife, in the capital. I will be there interviewing people. And last time I went to the protest, I spoke to a lot of people and I said, is this about Lanzarote not wanting tourism? And everybody I spoke to says no, this is about politics, it's about housing, it's about salaries, and it's about other things. So is that what the protest will be like this time?
I think so, but this year is more complicated for them because now the government are building houses, and I think this year is more complicated because we are working, or they are working the right way, and they are improving constantly the people's life.
So the government are actually doing something?
Yes, of course.
They are building the houses?
They are building the houses.
Okay.
Now they are going to give 136 houses in Playa Blanca. They are going to make more in Arrecife, and I think that's the way they are working on it. So this is more complicated because sometimes they have politicals, movements behind. So I think we have to continue on this way working because we need tourism. That's essential for us. Without tourism here, what we do, Dave?
Exactly. What do we do if there's no tourists here? But I think there still will be that message of that Lanzarote does love tourism and Lanzarote does want tourism. But there is a small group, isn't there? Yeah. Like everywhere around the world, and I've said this before, there's a small group of people. And I think it's the problem worldwide that these small groups seem to not have the biggest voices, but they seem to get the headlines more than the people that are trying to do the right thing. Is that what you found?
Of course. Behind of all of these groups, there are small groups that maybe make some bad things. Here in Lanzarote, it was nice at the moment because it's Pacific. Yeah. But in Tenerife, was more aggressive last year. Yeah. But I think here in Lanzarote, you don't have any problem. Tourists don't have any problem. So the people go just walking and talking, but not doing nothing to our tourists. Yeah.
I think in England, we see this in England as well with the political movements, whether it be the left, the right, the middle, or whatever you brand it of. If there's a protest, there's a small group of people that just seem to scream and shout, but I think their message is more click-worthy with the internet. Their message is more anti-tourism. So the media run the story based on the very small group of people that, well, I've said this before, have very little brains and sometimes have blue hair, like clowns. We call them clowns in the UK. We call them clowns. What do you think to the mainstream media and the headlines? How dangerous are the headlines that these people are printing about Lanzarote and Tenerife and holidays in general?
What we cannot do is blame all the island about what small groups do.
Yeah.
Because in the island we are a lot of people,
Yeah.
and most of the people wants the tourism, love their tourism because it's essential part of our life.
Of course. Now, you own a couple of businesses here on the island. So when the mainstream media and the news in the UK print stupid headlines like hotels cancelling bookings because they don't want British people, how does that affect your business?
Of course we affect.
Yeah.
And here is an important message that we have to give to the people.
Yeah.
You must go to the official news. For example, in the Lanzarote Loves Tourism web, you can ask everything. Hey, what's happening there in Lanzarote? We are going to answer the right things.
Yeah.
Okay, it's important to give the right message.
Of course.
Because if we start talking, hey, I heard this, hey, I heard that. No, go to the official news. It's so important that, to understand that Lanzarote don't have any kind of problem. Everything is normal. You can see it every day.
Yep.
We don't have any problem here. People are on their holidays.
Yep.
Today is a little bit cloudy, but tomorrow will be better. And I think that's the problem. We don't have any.
We usually have the sun, but maybe not today. So it is important. Look at the real news, even the local Spanish news. You can always translate it. Don't going with the Birmingham Live and all these stupid clickbait news outlets that are not even using real journalism, and they're not even using real journalists, and are just spreading hate. They're spreading misinformation, and they're scaring people that are coming here on holiday, businesses that are trying hard to get the right message out, where you're affecting their livelihood and all the people on the island of Lanzarote. So the message is that Lanzarote loves tourism. Lanzarote wants tourism.
Behind our association are a lot of people that work here in Lanzarote. They have their life here, and all people told us the same.
No.
We need the tourism. We love the tourism, and Lanzarote loves tourism.
So the headlines are affecting normal people that are just trying to live their lives, have normal jobs, and just get on with it. So please listen to the right people. Visit the website lanzarotelovestourism.com. I'll put the link on there, and that's got all the real information that you need to know. Thanks very much. Will you be down in Arrecife on the 18th?
I don't think so.
You're not going to come down?
No, much to do.
No, there you go. He's a busy man. But I will be there, and I will be bringing you live information of this. So you can watch me live.
Of course,
all right?
Of course.
So there you go. Augusto is fighting a fantastic cause to tell everybody that Lanzarote and Tenerife do love tourism. It's just a shame that that message doesn't get across. However, there are a lot of news outlets that are now reporting on the Lanzarote loves tourism, but I'm sure it doesn't make the headlines as clickable as Lanzarote doesn't want tourism. And as Augusto says, and he was too polite to say, it's only a small handful of people that are actually on that side of the fence. And unfortunately, that's how it is all around the world. You only have to look at these people that are gluing themselves to the roads and blocking traffic for different causes. And it's just a very small selection of people that seem to get the most noise, don't they? They seem to be the ones that make the headlines. When there's normal people like me, you, and normal good causes that are not getting the voices that they need. And that needs to stop. Right then, now, these two don't live here, although you are so tanned, you look like you live here. So the question is, I am here today to make the reporters and the so-called journalists take accountability for their actions with the stupid headlines. Today's headlines reads that there is chaos in Tenerife and Lanzarote because of the blackouts in Spain, and that the supermarkets are just full and overrun. Have you seen anything like that at all?
Nothing like that at all. It's just absolutely normal. You go anywhere, it's just like quiet and lovely.
We've been in Lidl, in Playa Blanca, everybody's shopping, everybody's happy, plenty of food, no stockpiling, no problem.
And loads of toilet roll as well.
Loads of loo roll,
no problem with toilet
absolutely.
roll whatsoever.
No problem with any loo roll.
If there's toilet roll, you know they're not stockpiling. So if you're looking forward to your holiday, if you've got a week's holiday in Lanzarote and you see a report that says, you know, Lanzarote in chaos, or when we had the small floods, which were not too bad, but I mean, you'd have thought it was Armageddon the way the mainstream media portray it. Now, you guys are sort of been here a few times, so you know the score. But how do you think that makes people feel that have saved for their holiday and are looking forward to the holiday, and then that comes up in their newsfeed?
I'm sure they'd probably be devastated actually seeing it.
Yeah.
I think you'd be filled with dread actually, because they do make it look awful. But having been here so many times, we just think it can't be that bad.
I also think it's just very unfair for people, because you're also then mixed with people's emotions, because they might have just saved up for that one holiday.
Exactly.
To all of a sudden to see a headline like that, might think, oh, you know what, I can't go there. And that then bounces on and affects people's incomes here as well at the same time, and it's absolute nonsense.
Well, this is why I'm trying to make these reporters understand that what they're writing has an effect on you guys on holiday. It has an effect on the businesses here, and it upsets
I
people.
would probably think it's quite dangerous reporting,
Yeah.
in a way. Then these people need to be more responsible.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're going to take them down. We're going to take them down. Right then, so let's talk to some real people on holiday. Where are you guys from?
But I'm a Londoner and I married a Brummie.
Oh, there you go. Well, the Brummies are the best. The Brummies are the best. Well, talking about Brummies, we're talking about headlines in the Birmingham Live today, right? So obviously they were talking about the power cut. There was no power cut here, no?
No, there wasn't.
absolutely
no Wi-Fi
nothing.
last night.
That's
was
about
all.
it.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you guys, you're on holiday. So when you book your holiday, you're looking forward to your holiday. When you see headlines that say Lanzarote doesn't want Brits, or Lanzarote sending a message, because this is one of the headlines, Lanzarote sends a message to Brits, do not come. How does that make you feel?
It's absolute rubbish.
It's rasp.
So you don't listen to the mainstream media?
No.
But how do you think it makes people feel that actually do?
I'm sure it deters people from coming here,
Yeah.
which is totally unjustified. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the island. We've come here, we came here 5 days ago, we're here for a month, and there's absolutely no difference whatsoever.
There you go. You hear it from the horse's mouth. So you don't listen to them, do you?
No.
Any message for the mainstream media and the news reporters?
Yeah, just keep yourself to yourself, let us have a good holiday and just go away.
Right then, I'm not having a cocktail, but I'm here in Jungle Bar, and I'm out here today debunking the press and making them take accountability for the stupid headlines that we see in the news. So you're the owner of this business, okay? So the question to you is the mainstream media playing a stupid, dangerous game by putting headlines up that says, do not go to Lanzarote, Lanzarote doesn't want you, and headlines that make people a little bit scared to come here?
Massively. It's an absolute load of rubbish. We are a touristic island. We rely upon tourism, and that's what we're here to do, to serve and provide for tourists. So there is not a case that we don't want them. We've got no businesses without them. So that would be absolutely ludicrous to think that we don't want them. More the merrier.
And do you get anybody coming in saying that they've read things in the newspaper?
100%, yeah, all the time. And that you have to say, listen, they are just fabricating things, taking a little bit and making a mountain out of a molehill. They are not telling the truth, not 100% at all.
So I'm calling out reporters today, in particular a couple of different reporters that seem to be a little bit too focused on Lanzarote. So essentially, if they report things that stop people coming here, that ruins your business and your livelihood, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. And it doesn't just affect me, it's a tumbleweed. The girls don't get jobs, they don't get tips, they don't, whatever they need to do with their lives, but they're not getting the money, so there's no jobs. So then it's like no housing. The crisis just continues and continues.
So they should be forced to take accountability because they're taking the food out of you and your family's mouths, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%.
So what message have you got to the mainstream media, the reporters?
Stop lying.
Exactly, I like that. And come to Jungle Bar, come and get a cocktail, look. And look at that view out there. You can't say better than that, can you? Fantastic. Right then, so I've met a lovely family. Where are you guys from?
South Wales.
So I want to ask you a question. You guys probably don't read the news, but Mum, you read the news and listen to the news. So is this your first time in Lanzarote?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So when you're reading headlines in the news that are all scaremongering, how does that make you feel?
Oh God, it makes you feel really worried, and it's like, why? Making you feel nervous and things for no reason, and it's like, there's nothing wrong here.
So the mainstream media need to stop scaring people who are coming on holiday, no? Because this is your 1-2 holidays a year and you're looking forward to it, and when you read headlines like that, it makes you feel what?
Put you off, yeah. It makes you feel really nervous and worried.
But it didn't put you off enough to cancel your holiday like some people.
Definitely not.
And are you glad you didn't? Yeah. Well, today I'm out upsetting the mainstream media because they're printing lies and controversy again. So the question is, you're on holiday here. Were you looking forward to your holiday? Okay, so what happens when you're looking forward to your holiday and you're thinking, I've got a week to go, and then you see a headline in the news that says, Lanzarote in chaos, do not go. How does that make you feel?
Well, because we come here quite regularly, 3 or 4 times a year, we just say we'll still go.
So it's good to know that a lot of people that I've asked so far, they don't listen to the mainstream media. So are you the ones that sort of read it and go, that's nonsense, ignore? So what's the message for people that are listening to the news?
Lanzarote is sunny, lovely, and it's well worth getting in, isn't it? Yeah.
So I really do hope this message gets to any news reporter, any journalist. I mean, I'm here reporting the real news on the ground, and I'm not a journalist. I'm just a bold, overweight person from Birmingham with a camera and a YouTube channel. So I'm not a journalist, am I? But I do tell you the truth, and that is all I'm trying to do, to tell you the truth. So I hope you journalists wake up, smell the coffee, and realise that your bad journalism is not only affecting local businesses, people with families, but it's also upsetting people that are coming on holiday and are already anxious in this world. I've said it once, the world is a very anxious place at the moment, and all people want is 1 to 2 weeks away in the sun. And you are ruining that for them. So stop it. It is as simple as that. And if you've got a problem with it, you know where I am. Contact me. And if you want the truth, or you want to do an interview, I'll interview you. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully this mainstream media nonsense stops very soon, because my heart can't take it anymore. See you later.